Did you try every new thing when it came out?
Yeah. Like when I was a kid, there was no such thing as a boogie board. There were broken pieces of surfboards.
Right.
So anything that, I mean, any object that you could just
that could
float, you know, and they barely needed to float because they could be on top of them. We used to laugh about McDonald's lunch trays. You know, you go get these lunch trays and you could use those as a hand plane and catch a wave and, you know, ride along with the. So I was used to that kind of, I got kind of introduced to all kinds of strange equipment.
But that also gives you an opportunity to understand what's possible.
That's true.
Because otherwise you think, oh, a surfboard looks like this. I know what it is. But when you see people are making all these different things, and you know what works about them or what doesn't work about them, even what doesn't work about them is really helpful to know.
Very. Well, because inevitably there's always something that does work. That just leaves you open for the next thing that comes along. So you're not going, hey,
you're not closed-minded.
You're not closed-minded. I mean, listen, I can say I was riding one kind of board, and then one day some guy showed up, and I was already been surfing for quite a while. I think I was maybe late teens. Shows up on the island, and he has this board called a thruster, which is a board with 3 fins. And he goes, oh, you want to try it? And I try it, and it'd be like all of a sudden you went from like a Model T to you have yourself a new sports car. Like it literally was just, and he gave it to me. He said, you can have it.
Why would 3 fins make such a difference?
Well, because of what it did is that it reduced the drag, but it put fins on the sides, which allowed the boards, and the way they were configured, it was kind of unweighting the board and then allowing the board to really be put on an edge where one fin would still stay in. So when you really got laid over and you were on a hard edge, 2 of the fins would be completely out of the water.
I see.
And normally that would just spin out. Normally but one of the fins would stay in the water, which allowed you to be much more aggressive. Like you could be so much more aggressive and it would just hold. And so that just totally revolutionized surfing, technically.
You remember around when that was? What year that was?
Oh, Simon Anderson was the guy. Simon Anderson, an Australian guy, came up with the concept of and who knows if it was him and somebody but he's credited with it. I think he did. It was his brainchild, and I mean that would have had to been 30-something years ago. Like probably that's how long it's been out. A little bit more.
And that changed everything.
Changed everything.
Everything.
The whole thing.
The whole thing changed.
The whole thing. Right. Like every single guy, I mean, right now we have a 4-fin revolution, but it's just kind of in a way, it's an offset of the 3-fin. And every professional surfer in the world uses a thruster or a 4-fin. Like it's still today.